Let's chat today about volume foods versus macro-dense foods, how to know whether you're a volume eater or a macro-dense type of eater, and when to use each method. I think first it's important that we identify what type of eater we think or feel like we are. I know for me, I'm a volume eater. I like to have a big plate and I like to put the fork up to my mouth a lot of times. I'm willing to sacrifice taste for amount. Now, if you consider yourself a macro-dense eater, then you're gonna be a lot like my mom, where she doesn't care so much about quantity and volume. She cares a lot more about flavor. It has to wow her taste buds, and we all have our preference. The thing to remember is that one is not better than the other, but when you're a volume eater, you are likely to feel fuller longer than when you are a macro-dense eater because you eat up a lot of your macro budget to fit in those tasty foods. So when you are a macro-dense eater, you are not willing to eat PB2 versus peanut butter. You're not willing to go fat-free yogurt for full-fat yogurt. You are not willing to use oil spray versus butter or olive oil. As a volume eater, you are willing to sacrifice some flavor or texture in order to eat more. When you are a macro-dense eater, you are not willing to sacrifice flavor or texture for fewer macros at your plate. I also believe that there's a time and a place to do one or the other. So, for example, after you have been sick or after you have had a procedure done like a surgery, you're going to lean more towards higher macro foods, more dense foods in order to fill up your macros for the day. This would be a great time to go ahead and eat those comfort foods that are going to cost you more in macros. Like I just had a procedure last week and I had macaroni and cheese. I had peanut butter and jelly because they took up less room in my stomach, but they let me hit my macros. When I am feeling snacky, like I just want to graze and snack on some food, I like to go volume foods, right? Fruits and vegetables, because I can have a lot and I can put the snack up to my mouth plenty of times without blowing my macros and still having plenty for other meals. There you have it, friends. Volume foods versus macro-dense foods. How to identify which type of eater you are and when to use each method. If you like what you see and you want to know more, please share my videos, share my hacks, tips, and tricks. I'll check y'all soon.